Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Anime Night in the Dojo. Today's featured show, ReZero, Season 4.
Yep, ReZero, Season 4, Episode 4. Welcome back to the dojo. I'm Ryu. That's Age. We're back for more Anime Night in the Dojo. And, well, you guys see what this is? You guys see this? Found the one frame in recorded ReZero history where Ram is smiling at Subaru. I win the Let's Play. It's over. Ray would be proud, but I digress. Last time we had some pretty brutal party wipe, and then Subaru went into Super Mom mode, and, well, then derped into a Knucklevi thing that speculated on what the deal was. But not that it really matters, because now it's non-existent due to needle damage. So we'll just have to see if this is Shaola, everything we talked about last time, yesterday. So yeah, we'll just have to see what's up with that, all the speculation, all the whatnot. So I have to get to one of my spoilers. Hopefully I don't get too many more this season, because now I'm in full, once again, now that we've started doing ReZero and we're talking about it more. The internet knows, so now it's more in the feed and stuff. You start talking about Domino's and all of a sudden you get a freaking message on your app, on your phone. Hey, have you considered downloading the Domino's app and you get a free pizza after whatever, you know what I mean? That kind of crap. Same thing with this. It's everything's listening to you. It's just what it is. Unless we start speaking in code. You know what I mean? It's mustard, I swear. It's that Witch Factor drink. Don't worry about it. But either way, hopefully they get out of the pit, meet up with at least somebody else this episode, make some progress. As long as we're not having Subaru roll around on the floor again. I'm always going to tie back to that one. You know what I mean? As long as we don't go back to that, we'll probably be okay. So, that being said, we're going to push some buttons and get going here to not waste any time. So people on Patreon, we'll see on the other side of the edit for the timer reaction, and people on YouTube Beyond, we'll see on the other side for the discussion and review. And all the various links that you might need to know about us are down there in the description. Check out the timer reaction, completely free. Just watch it over on Patreon, because that's what I have to do. Yeah, everything else, Twitch, whatnot, it's all there. Check it out if you want. So, here goes something. Well, alrighty then, you guys have it. We kicked off the episode with visions of two of our favorite people. Well, one of our favorite people in this douche canoe.
Yeah, this bit pretty much confirms that Regulus is dead.
Yeah, because this is like the like their what do you want to call it? Like the remnants of their factor, basically.
Yeah, it's this like their factor lingering around and freaking harassing Subaru because he's so close to Satella that her like miasma is kind of bleeding through again.
Right. So yeah, if we ever wanted a confirmation, I'd say this is a pretty good one. So Regulus is buttered toast head.
And once again, we already know that remnants of people's personality can exist within the factors. Like that's why freaking what's her face Wrath confuses Subaru for Betelgeuse now.
Right.
Plus also the whole thing of why the witches, despite being dead, still exist.
Right.
Because their personalities exist within their witch factors, which are still around.
Yep. And one day, perhaps at a Walmart near you. In can form. But either way, so we got that confirmation. We got the fact that, this is a Shaola, bare minimum. She has the scorpion motif. Getting real tired of all the crap we're watching being connected. Getting real tired of it, you guys. We just got done with Scorpion Girl and Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay? Now we're going into Greek myth with Scorpio constellation and Star Shaola, and having to retrace my childhood and how much I was into constellations back in. So, yeah, I had no idea what Subaru was going on about until he started talking about Orion, and I was like, okay, I gotta dig up 8-year-old me again, thanks a lot.
Yeah, freaking Shaola is the name of one of the stars in the Scorpius constellation. In particular, it is the one at the very end of the tail.
Right. So, having a knowledge of that kind of thing further proves that Flugel could be Subaru from the future. We've had this discussion about the
He's-
space-time shit. You know what I mean?
He's bare minimum an Otherworlder, but
He's
the
bare
fact
minimum
that,
Otherworlder, because otherwise, how the hell would they know about Orion? You know what I mean?
yeah, he set up this puzzle based on real world myth, making it to where it couldn't be possibly solved except for by another Otherworlder. At least not without, sitting there for like hundreds of years brute forcing it.
Right. Yeah. So,
But Shaula probably has some contingency for that, where like she has some order to not let someone brute force it.
yeah, because as we saw, Amelia tried to do that and was embarrassed about it. Went full shotgun approach, and yeah, not so much. So,
Yeah. But we saw how many monoliths there were in there, so friggin' it would take a serious amount of effort to try all of them. It'd take a serious amount of effort just to even friggin' keep track of what ones you had tried.
right. Because they could be moving or something, or the constellation could be shifting every time the test resets. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't put it past it to be to literally be the actual constellations in order, and as such shift over the course of time.
Right. Because the night sky does shift, you guys.
Yeah, the position of Scorpius in the sky is different depending on the time of year, so it could be a thing where, like, yeah, from a day-to-day perspective, they may not seem like they're shifting, but after a month of trial and error, you suddenly find that one you thought you had done is actually on the other side of the room.
Right. So that definitely becomes an issue. But either way, it was kind of cool to do some constellation stuff again. And Greek myth, the Pleiades is right up there again. So gotta keep that in the back of our head, because that's another thing. But yeah, it's pretty interesting that it came down to something like this. The classic, just this kind of thing. And we got some comedy, some very solid comedy in this with everything that happened here, and then the classic, Amelia kicked him because for whatever reason she is super upset at him for no apparent reason, but we all know the reason. It's jealousy. Just be glad it's not another little girl. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Amelia is probably slightly more threatened by, full-grown adult women, or taller women in this case. So that's something. So at least we got a little bit of comedy. Subaru cracking some bones. He'll probably be all right. Beatrice being somewhere she probably doesn't want to be, but she'll be all right. But gotta appreciate the comedy. Gotta appreciate the madness. Just once again, second year junior high syndrome. She's at least 400 years old.
Yeah, she's bare minimum 400, probably older. Well, definitely older, because 400 was when, like, Flugel left her here. And she's apparently knew Reed, which I don't remember exactly the time frame on Reed, but he was definitely over 400 years ago.
Right. So at the end of the day, we got a pretty interesting amount of information just in general off of her, everything that she was able to talk about and whatnot. Once again, Scorpion motif is really, really relevant to this situation. Everything that was discussed here is important because, this all could be some kind of random nonsense test. And a lot of frames that could be taken out of context and stuff like that can happen and stuff like this. And some of these frames are throwaway. But very rarely is something... the odds of me landing on it are not high, because it's very very quick. But when Subaru tells her to not hurt him or his friends, her eyes narrow, like why would he ask that? You know what I mean? Like he triggered like a fail safe of like, I would never say this. You know what I mean? if something like this is ever said, you need to go into this contingency plan, that kind of thing. So we'll just have to see. I had to make sure my internet wasn't cutting out right there because my modem was losing its shit. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what comes of that, because that was a very serious, eye and arrow. They drew attention to it on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something's going on there. We'll just have to see what's up with that. Obviously, there's something going on because that's like a telltale sign of that's not really my master then potentially. So that's like one of the flags of, hey, be super sus on anybody that might be tricking you to try to be me or what have you. So there is that.
Yeah, at very least, Flugel is an otherworlder, but he could be a future/alternate timeline Subaru.
Yeah,
because the whole series is based around time shenanigans.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, if she is aware of Return by Death, she might be aware of an alternate timeline, or like a super alternate timeline that Subaru goes into the future and tries to leave breadcrumbs for a past self or something like that. You know what I mean? If they get this far or something like that, that kind of thing could be going on. You know what I mean? So it's all timey-wimey nonsense. So
it could be some dead timeline that Subaru survives in, but that goes to shit, and he finds some way to come back to what's now the main timeline and influence things for himself.
Yep. So that's just something to keep an eye on. Remember, this is once again all timey-wimey space-time nonsense. So we'll just have to see what comes of that. We have this room here that is slowly healing Patrichet, but not Rem. Okay. So other things to keep in mind is they might have brought Rem for no reason. We'll just have to see whether Shala is able to do anything about Rem's situation. Haven't asked yet. Just saying. They made the whole money joke, but it definitely makes it seem like she's not who they're looking for potentially because of the whole Scorpion motif. So...
yeah, the whole thing was that they're looking for the Sage, but Shala immediately says she's not the Sage. So
right.
Chances are she doesn't have the info herself, that it's somewhere here in the library.
Right. So we got a big ass library, a tower of potential trials and madness. So we'll just have to see what comes of that. I'm not sure why they did the early outro here, like the ED, but that is what it is. But either way, we're in a library that is serious business.
Yeah, which once again, I know of another series of books that isn't like the freaking the Gospels, that is very important, that this is potentially leading into, that will be a major player in the remaining story.
Right. So yeah, anyway, just based on the random spoiler that I did get, I'm very interested to see how we get to that point and what happens here. Already sus on Shala because, everything we just talked about. Scorpion motif, obviously, everything that we discussed, especially recently with Jujutsu Kaisen, we saw what happened with that. So, timey-wimey nonsense abound. Might have to bust out that one. We'll have to see if I can bust out that clip again. But it's getting pretty ridiculous, and we'll just have to see where it goes from here. But it's definitely establishing some fairly interesting problems. It's nice to see Subaru working with knowledge from his world again, because that has come up a couple times. You know what I mean? So those could be the breadcrumbs of a future self or a dead timeline self that's trying to help a past him. You know what I mean? That kind of thing with otherworlder knowledge. To that end, Age pointed out during the library action as well, is Shala is doing a lot of stuff that is very otherworlder. They don't have guns. They don't snipe people. They don't do the finger gun thing here because they don't have guns.
Yeah, no, her mentioning sniping in general as a concept isn't really something that's been in this universe. She uses slang, right at the beginning, that is, real world slang, and Subaru immediately points it out, like, where did you learn that kind of language?
Yeah, it's like, where did you pick up something like that?
She does the finger guns, and then later on she like predicts and immediately does the thumbs up bit with Subaru. So, which is further kind of implying that Flugel potentially is an alternate Subaru, because she picks up on his mannerisms, plus also
the same scent.
The whole thing of, it'd be, well, not impossible, it'd be very hard for her to be mistaking the whole miasma scent shenanigans.
Yep.
Because that's something that's we've been having drilled into our heads from episode 1, is that Subaru has a very unique scent to him because of the witch's magic.
And he has died multiple times fairly recently. So, it's leaking. Even if he's been out for, what did it say he was? He was out for 2 days. So, still, it's still probably fairly, when she was first clinging to him, like everybody said she was, it's pretty hard to mistake that kind of presence or aura, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we know it's a physical smell. It's perceived as a physical smell to other people. And we know that it gets stronger the more he dies on a specific checkpoint, but it's always there, even if he hasn't recently died.
Yep. So, definitely a lot of interesting goings on here. The library is going to be a big deal for obvious reasons. A lot of the real world knowledge from that kind of mythos, it probably keep coming in. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the library, especially with how prevalent the cost pages are in the OP. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, there's that big shot in the OP of Subaru collapsed amongst the books, and then at the very end, Shaola with the tossed pages in the EE. That both make me suspect that the books that I'm thinking of are here. But once again, I'm not going to actually elaborate until we get confirmation on it.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, this one was fairly straightforward, nothing really super spectacular that we have to go into. Clarify the constellation stuff, that kind of thing, the Orion stuff. It was cool to look into that. Other than that, keep an eye on this girl. She's ridiculous. But at least we got some comedy out of her before potential tragedy and disaster. Over and over again, for all we know. So, yeah, this will be interesting to see what goes on here, how this plays out. So, yeah, just gotta kind of keep letting it cook and see what happens, because we've done a lot of speculation on this series and not really a reason to rehash it. Yes, we're on the new channel now and everything, but rehashing all that would take hours. So, catch some of the reruns on Twitch. I'm sure they'll be there at some point. So, yeah, that's all I got for this one. I'm liking it so far. I don't really have any major problems with it. The deaths haven't been detrimental to anything. Totally fine. The pacing's been good. Nothing to really complain about. There's been some comedy. Some fun stuff. When sometimes you find the still shot of you win the Let's Play because you found a shot of freaking Ram smiling at Subaru intentionally. Not even being a total bitch about it. But she's already given me 7 more burns that I have to add to the burn compilation that I have to put together for her, because I never got around to that. So I'm going to have to include season 4, and season 4 already has 7 burns in 4 episodes. So, yeah.
I mean, it's been quite a while since we really got any sort of significant amount of Ram.
Yeah. Because last season she really wasn't around. She was just back at the mansion with Roswell. So,
yeah, she can't really leave the mansion because she needs Roswell to keep replenishing her mana that's constantly leaking.
Yep. So, either way, another solid episode for what it is. No real major complaints. It's just pushing the story along. I'm kind of glad we're doing the double feature because it kind of feels like we kind of need 2 episodes at a time right now for anything super major to happen. It doesn't feel like we're watching 2. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a plus for this. It's like there's not like an overabundance of information that has to be taken in, like misplacing when it happened or what have you. So that's a good thing. So that's all I got for this one. You got anything else, Age?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll still have to keep an eye out for when the other shoe's going to drop, especially because, once again, we still have potential lust wandering around here.
Yep. So, lots of interesting
Among
stuff
all the other
on the
things.
table. So, yeah, just among all the other 800 things that are going on. You know what I mean? And then, once again, we also have the guy in the OP that, we were talking about during the live reaction there. He's probably the, progenitor of the sword hero Familia. I wanted to call him Familia. Got Don Machia in the mind because they announced the next season. The progenitor of the Astra family.
Yeah, I assume that's Reed, the red-haired guy. We potentially have lust wandering around here. And then, obviously, once again, the gluttonies are prevalent in the OP as well, so something will probably be associated with them, since, once again, the whole goal right now is to try to find a way to solve gluttony's sin factor.
Yep. Any and all of them at once. Because if you can solve Rem's problem, you should be able to solve the other ones that are individuals' name and or. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, people of YouTube beyond, however you're watching, as always, we appreciate you stopping by and hanging with us here in the dojo for more Anime Night in the Dojo. This was ReZero, Season 4, Episode 4. 4 is all around. So, have a good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for you. Have a good one. See you next time.
Hey everyone, Victoria here. If you enjoyed the video, please consider pushing those like and subscribe buttons. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for your time, and we hope to see you again in the future.